Trump is the closest thing to God.
Trump is the closest thing to God, really?
Absolutely, absolutely.
So you believe that Trump is picked by God?
I believe so. I believe that Trump is blessed by God. I believe that Trump has come from blessed parents. His parents worked for what they had. His parents made him, molded him to become the person that he is.
But so Trump is selling Bibles for $60.
Okay.
Is that he's profiting off of selling Bibles? Is that a godly thing to do?
Is it a godly thing for the Democrats to be okay with killing their babies? Is that okay?
I guess you answered my question with another question. Okay. Just answer this question. Is it a godly thing to do for Trump to be?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's a business. He's a businessman. That's what this country needs. What do we need? What are churches doing? When you go to church, don't they ask you for $1? Don't they ask you to do this and that? Churches are businesses. This whole country's a business.
If he says it, then I'll go with it. And if he wants to be a dictator, then so be it.
I'd rather have Donald Trump as a dictator for 4 years. Absolutely. This country needs a dictator. I hate to say that, but it's the truth.
He could stand on the front steps of the White House and commit murder, and I'm with him.
Hail Trump!
In 1946, two men in the Nevada desert performed a hellish ritual, fulfilling an ancient prophecy. After nearly 2,000 years, the coming of the beast signaled the beginning of the end for all mankind. Born under a blood moon and raised in shadow, his dark spirit of rebellion was carefully crafted by esoteric black magic. Now, at last, he has been set loose upon the world stage, and the Golden Age has officially begun. Meet Donald, the man making America great again.
Drain the swamp.
He's rude.
I'm not thinking.
That's okay. I know you're not thinking. You never do.
I'm sorry?
No, go ahead.
He's crude.
Grab him by the pussy.
Kiss my ass.
And his blasphemies know no limitations.
I am the chosen one.
I have great relationship with God.
But have you ever asked God for forgiveness?
Won't have to vote anymore, my beautiful Christians. I love you, Christians. I'm a Christian.
The people love Donald. Hollywood loves Donald.
Big and tasty for just $1? How do you do it? What's your secret?
The CIA loves Donald.
Take a look at what happened.
Israel loves Donald. But most importantly, Donald loves Donald.
I'm very highly educated. I know words. I have the best words. I have the best people.
I have the best courses in the world.
A lot of people think that I'll be the best in jobs by far. I will be the greatest that God ever created, believe me.
His concerns are universal.
They're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats.
His policies direct.
We have to bring back the death penalty.
Death penalty.
Death penalty. The death penalty. The death penalty.
His intentions transparent.
You knew damn well I was a snake before you took me in.
This President's Day, judgment has been declared.
It's called Operation Warp Speed. That means big and it means fast. Unlike anything our country has seen since the Manhattan Project.
And the little horn is playing 5D chess for your soul.
Ooh, that was a bad one.
Antichrist megastar.
I recommend take the vaccines. I did it. It's good. Take the vaccine.
He's not the man of sin they expected, but he's the man of sin they deserve.
I don't think there's anything going to get me in heaven. Okay, I think I'm not maybe heaven bound.
Let's talk about the end of days, according to Judaism. One of the principles of Jewish faith is that one day a man is going to rise up. We call him Mashiach.
We now have a presidential candidate who's likely to win, who's literally doing exactly what Vladimir Lenin did. When the Soviet state was created, in the aftermath of the so-called Bolshevik Revolution, what was the first law? Anti-Semitism.
Death penalty or anti-Semitism, right?
Death penalty, and they killed all the Christians. How far off are we today with a presidential candidate who is likely to win, who is saying the same thing that Lenin said?
When I'm president, we will deport the foreign jihad sympathizers, and we will deport them very quickly, and Hamas supporters will be gone. But what's going on now is exactly what was going on before the Holocaust.
If you even uttered one word against the Jews who had just conducted the genocide of the Christian nation of Russia.
Yeah, that's what Trump said on day one. That's going to be the very first thing he does when inaugurated, is work on is deporting anti-Semites and passing hate speech laws, and that's baffling to me. That's what he's running on. It's not the Trump that ran along last time. So if you don't support Israel, you're anti-Semite. If you say they crucified Jesus, you're an anti-Semite.
But how does Christian nations ally with communism when the communist agenda was to exterminate the Christians? So you, as a so-called Christian, believe that your job is to bend over and take it up that place for this very people who brags and, by the way, hates your Savior.
In tandem with these economic and property reforms, a wide array of legislation was passed by Lenin's government in late 1917 and 1918 to transform the social and legal landscape of Russia. For instance, communist ideology rejected religion. Accordingly, in January 1918, the new government decreed the immediate separation of church and state at a time when organized Christian churches across Europe still had a major influence over education and other social matters. A wide array of legislation was passed by Lenin's government in late 1917 and 1918 to transform the social and legal landscape of Russia. For instance, communist ideology rejected religion. Accordingly, in January 1918, the new government decreed the immediate separation of church and state. For instance, communist ideology rejected religion. Accordingly, in January 1918, the new government decreed the immediate separation of church and state at a time when organized Christian churches across Europe still had a major influence over education and other social matters.
I am the chosen one.
Godless sodomites. Kneel before your God, Babylon! Making me the highest paid megalomaniacal boy king in all of Babylon!
You see, if you go and visit the very home of the Oscars, where they hold it each year, you can see a plaque on the wall that says the Babylonian Court. The camera shows you the stage, and you see an unmistakable Tower of Babel embedded into the design. Outside of the Kodak Theater, you have the gate to Ishtar, and you have Babylonian gods put on the outside of the gate. They have the exact elephants. They have the same exact gate of Ishtar. They have the same exact Babylonian gods over the top of the gates.
A lot of people come up here and they thank Jesus for this award. I want you to know that no one had less to do with this award than Jesus. He didn't help me a bit. So all I can say is, suck it, Jesus, this award is my God now!
I'm thankful to the Oscar gods.
The other names of the gentlemen are all gods as far as the category concerned.
When you get this little golden statue, you become a star. In the Egyptian culture, they also had a little statue that represented the god Ptah. And see, when an Egyptian king died, it was believed that his spirit went into the belt of Orion, and he then became a star. Up until 1999, the Oscars was held at a building called The Shrine, which was founded by William Florence and Walter Fleming, two high-ranking Scottish Rite Freemasons. Hollywood has long been interested in Freemasonry. Gene Autry, John Wayne, Nat King Cole, Duke Ellington, C.C. DeMille, Clark Gable, Walt Disney, Oliver Hardy, you name it, the list goes on. Many celebrities have come out and admitted their connection to Freemasonry. You can see the checkered floor, you can see the archways, you can see the sun motif in the background. All of these are letting you know exactly who owns this organization.
Mr. Prince.
Are you going to do that with your hands?
Yeah, it's called pyramid hands. It's very powerful. Mr. Prince, I need you to ask yourself this question. Why do I need monkey fist security? And then the doctor was like, at this point, you can take the scab off, and it would be fine. And I was like, I totally disagree, because I think it's going to leave a scar. Look at above the brow. In the brow.
Yep.
Nothing there? Nothing. And back in anything, in conclusion, these are all the reasons you should choose monkey fist. Pyramid hands.
Here's the thing. We got less than 5 years to stop them, or we'll never have another chance. Agenda 2030 isn't some conspiracy theory. It's written down, and it's written in their words. They come right out and they tell us exactly what they're going to do. It's a one world government, one world cashless currency, one world central bank, one world military, social credit scores that the government can use to turn off your bank account. Vietnam just deleted 86 million bank accounts of people who refused to get their digital ID. They just deleted them. Wonder where that money went. If you're not paying attention, you probably don't know that England is putting people in prison for social media posts like memes and fucking comments. This is the trajectory that we're headed. Dude just got put in federal prison in England for saying that he didn't want his tax dollars prioritizing illegal immigrants instead of being used for the betterment of his own countrymen. Listen, if you don't start standing up and saying something like I am, this will be the end of national sovereignty. It will be the end of privately owned property. They're literally telling people in other countries that if you don't accept digital IDs, you're going to be excluded from society. That's what they're telling them. That means they won't allow you to board a train, to get on a plane, to go to work. They won't allow you to do the things that you would normally do if you don't accept their digital ID. I'm telling you that they won't allow you to pay your fucking mortgage without providing them a digital ID number. They'll take away your home for non-compliance. They'll disallow or remove your children from school. This isn't a joke. This is what's happening right now. We have less than 5 years to do something about it. If you don't recognize how serious this is, you're not paying attention. This is what they're doing. They won't allow you to register your cars. They'll turn you away from medical care. And they'll do all this while they're telling you that you're not being forced to do anything. It's your choice, right? Like it was your choice 5 years ago with the jab. Remember that? This is how they institute the new normal. This is how they end the family unit. This is how they force mandatory schmaxinations. This is how they introduce universal basic income. This is how they introduce microchipping, a global credit system. This is what they want. This is what they're building right now. And they're coming right out and they're telling you thousands of 5G towers, the end of private transportation, the end of private farms, businesses run by the government, travel restrictions, restricted land use. You think this is far-fetched? Take a look around and wake the fuck up. They already tested it in 2020 with the lockdowns, restrictions, fear campaigns, government-run media, and most people complied without a second thought. That was the dress rehearsal. That was the warm-up round. 2030 is their final act. But here's the thing. It was all supposed to go down in 2015, but they missed their deadline. So they pushed it back to 2020. Then they missed that too. And what does that tell you? See, it tells me that we're much more fierce of an opponent than they ever realized. They didn't account for level-headed, logical thinking, like-minded brothers like us to dig our heels in and say, fuck you. But it's not good enough. And their efforts will only get more aggressive, more pronounced, and more relentlessly egregious towards dissenters. And here's the truth. If we don't fight back now, if we don't raise our voices, if we don't refuse to comply, if we don't build strength and unity in our own communities, then when the curtain drops, it's over. We won't get another chance. This is bigger than politics. This is about freedom. This is about sovereignty. This is about whether your kid and your grandkids get to live free or as digital slaves in a system that is designed to own them. You want to stop it? It starts with courage. It starts with men and women who refuse to kneel at the feet of our supposed overlords. It starts with you. Stay awake, stay strong, stay sharp, and don't ever back down.
The goals of the banking industry, not just the Federal Reserve System, but the private banks in Germany and England, all over Italy, all over the world, they all work together. They're all central banks, and they're all part of the Communist Manifesto. You know, central banking is one of the major planks of the Communist Manifesto. We talk about America being a capitalistic country, but yet at the same time we have a central bank that plans everything for us, right? And the graduated income tax is another plank of the Communist Manifesto, right? So right there you have two major planks of the Communist Manifesto that have been brought in because of the Federal Reserve System, okay? So the ultimate goal that these people have in mind is the goal to create a one-world government run by the banking industry, run by the bankers, and they're doing it in sections. The European currency, the euro, and the European Constitution is one part of it. Now they're trying to do it in America with the North American Union, right? And they want to create a new currency called the Amero, right? And the whole agenda is to create a one-world government where everybody has an RFID chip implanted in them. All money is to be in those chips, right? There'll be no more cash. And this is giving me straight from Rockefeller himself. This is what they want to accomplish. And all money will be in your chips. And so instead of having cash, anytime you have money in your chip, they can take out whatever they want to take out whenever they want to. If they say you owe us this much money in taxes, they just deduct it out of your chip digitally.
Total control.
Total control. And if you're like me or you, and you're protesting what they're doing, they can just turn off your chip, and you have nothing.
The Mosquito Guy's Gates thoughts on digital IDs here in the United States.
Countries struggling to find that boundary. The U.S. is a tough one because, we have the notion of the First Amendment. And so what are the exceptions, like yelling fire in a theater, and because you're anonymous online, it can be worse. I do think over time, with things like deep fakes, most of the time you're online, you're going to want to be in an environment where the people are truly identified. That is, they're connected to a real world identity that you trust instead of just people saying whatever they want. And so the idea of provenance, who sent me this email, was that really them? We're going to have systems and behaviors that we're more aware of. Okay, who says that? Who created this?
Issue to do with the technology and the digital infrastructure. I just want to emphasize how important I think that is. Because in the end, you need the data. You need to know who's been vaccinated and who hasn't been. Some of the vaccines that will come on down the line will be multiple. There'll be multiple shots. So you've got to have, for reasons to do with the healthcare more generally, but certainly for a pandemic or for vaccines, you've got to have a proper digital infrastructure.
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable. Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable. Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable. And you know what? I believe totally in your freedoms. I do. You got to do what you have to do. But I recommend take the vaccines. I did it. It's good. Take the vaccines. But no, that's okay. That's all right. You got your freedoms. But I happen to take the vaccine. Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable. When you sort of like, the vaccine, if you don't want to take it, you shouldn't be forced to take it. No mandates, but take credit because we saved tens of millions of lives. Take credit. Don't let them take that away from you.
Okay, so the president made news.
Do you agree with that?
Right? Both the president and I are vaxxed, and did you get the booster?
Yes.
I got it too. Okay, so...
Don't. Or might take the firearms first and then go to court, because that's another system. Because a lot of times by the time you go to court, it takes so long to go to court to get the due process procedures. I like taking the guns early. Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable. To go to court would have taken a long time. So you could do exactly what you're saying, but take the guns first, go through due process second. And you know what? I believe totally in your freedoms. I do. You got to do what you have to do. But I recommend take the vaccines. I did it. It's good. Take the vaccines. But no, that's okay. That's all right. You got your freedoms. But I happen to take the vaccine.
And look, I guess in a certain way, I'm the father of the vaccine because I was the one that pushed it.
The greatest lie humanity tells itself is that we have outgrown human sacrifice. We call it by different names now and make our offering to different gods. We offer young men we call soldiers, as if the designation means that their mothers cry less when they die. We call masses of humanity collateral damage and turn our eyes away from the pictures of their lifeless bodies as we sip our morning coffee. And the truth is, we don't do it because we are heartless. We do it because we believe that it is necessary for the world to keep running. We do it because we believe that the gods whose favor we so desperately seek, freedom, security, prosperity, flourishing, that they demand blood as the price of their favor. We do it because we cannot see any other choice. When Abraham prepares to sacrifice Isaac, he is just accepting the same bargain of blood we still accept today, that some need to die for the world to flourish.
In this anti-Israel Flat Earth Society,
a new United Nations sculpture was set up outside the UN headquarters in New York, and it has caught the attention of Christians worldwide because of its creepy similarity to one of the four beasts in Daniel 7. I mean, just look at this and compare it to the lion with wings. Is this a symbolic symbol to the world of exactly who the UN is? Is it Mystery Babylon? We'll explain why we think it is in a moment. The artists who create it say it was a fusion of two animals, a jaguar and an eagle. And they say it was inspired by the pagan Aztec culture of Mexico. Aztecs, of course, were known for their cruelty and human sacrifice. The sculpture, ironically, is called the Guardian for International Peace and Security, which seems very odd for such a violent-looking sculpture.
On December the 9th, 2021, in front of the United Nations building, this beast was revealed, was uncovered. December is the 12th month. 12:9. Revelations 12:9. And the great dragon was thrown down, the serpent of old, who is called the devil and Satan, who deceiveth the whole world. He was thrown down to the earth, and his angels were thrown down with him. That was Revelations 12:9.
When someone says, let's impose tariffs on foreign imports,
It looks like they're doing the patriotic thing by protecting American products and jobs. And sometimes for a short while it works, but only for a short time. But over the long run, such trade barriers hurt every American worker and consumer. High tariffs inevitably lead to retaliation by foreign countries and the triggering of fierce trade wars. Then the worst happens. Markets shrink and collapse, businesses and industries shut down, and millions of people lose their jobs. Throughout the world, there's a growing realization that the way to prosperity for all nations is rejecting protectionist legislation and promoting fair and free competition. America's jobs and growth are at stake.
Today is today. And yesterday was today yesterday. Tomorrow will be today tomorrow. So live today, so the future today will be as the past today, as it is tomorrow.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
No way. That's great.